Ramble.
Thanks to Uncommon Goods and ButcherBox for sponsoring today's episode. Welcome to the Guilty Pleasures podcast. Today, we are discussing the electric film 50 Shades of Grey with our good friend Ned Fulmer here to join us. The year is 2015, but for some reason, everyone's cell phones are in the year 1998. College senior, that's weird, Anastasia Steele meets eccentric playboy billionaire / maybe serial killer Christian Grey, and they enter in a hot, steamy love affair. And that's
not love.
Well,
not love.
Fuck.
A fuck affair. And that's kind of all the movie is. It's a girl who's learning to fuck with a playboy
who's learning to love.
To feel.
Yeah.
I want to give a bigger synopsis for this movie, but really it is a young woman's introduction into the world of BDSM and submission and
Hollywood's version of BDSM
Yes.
and submission.
Oh, I have a feeling Kelsey has some thoughts.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
This one. Normally I would come with more of a synopsis, but right, that's really all there is to say. This is the movie where you go to see people fuck, and boy oh boy did it deliver. Guys, I can't wait to dive in and talk about this.
I've never seen Garrick so giggly off the top. Usually he's like mad.
I'm upset.
But I've never seen
You're still
so
upset.
giggly.
Joining me as always are my co-hosts Kelsey Dara and Garrick Bernard, and say hello.
Hey,
What up?
what's
We're
up?
here. as
And
always.
our special guest for today, the man who brought us this gift of a film, Ned Fulmer. Hello, Ned.
What's up, everybody?
Do not boo him. How dare you?
Do not boo your guest.
Our esteemed
I will
guest,
leave
Kelsey.
right now, but may I first just say, you're welcome. Thank you for experiencing my guilty pleasure. I gave Zach a list of 12 movies.
Get this out of the way.
This was number 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But Zach singled it out, and here I am, and I will staunchly defend this movie, and we shall not say anything more bad about it unless it's really funny.
That's what this entire podcast is. I had to bring it to
Kelsey,
you.
we discussed. We attacked the movie, not the guests.
Oh, right. I forgot. We want people to come back.
That's the movie.
Yeah, I did. I knew that Ned liked this movie. I had never seen it, and I thought, wow.
Wait, you had never seen it?
No, am I the only one?
Uncomfortable date.
What else were you doing on Valentine's Day 2015?
Working at BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who didn't see this until now?
Yeah.
Garrick, I'm sorry. Why the fuck
Yeah.
did you see it?
I had a girlfriend at that time.
That makes sense for Ned.
Yeah.
You got a wife.
Right.
I'm a single bitch.
No, I walked in by myself. I was just like, oh yeah, I just want to check out this great movie.
You sat through this with a girlfriend. Did you love her?
At the time, yeah.
Wow.
And then we left the movie and broke up immediately. No, I'm kidding.
You left the movie. She was like, "Hey, can we go get some ice?"
Some ice and some rope, maybe, and listen to Rihanna a bunch. It's just like,
So
oh my
mad.
God. First of all, cat's out. We just got an elephant in the room.
Oh.
Dude was 15. Oh, he was sexually abused. He was sexually abused,
yeah.
and they didn't talk about it the entire movie.
This whole
So we're going
movie
into the
is
plot. Okay,
based
all right.
on the most insecure, square-faced childhood trauma.
It is 100% about ignoring childhood trauma.
And being like, does that make your nipples hard
Right.
when you think about the most fucked up thing that ever happened to you?
Look, guys, let me just take it bird's eye view for a second.
Thank you, Ned.
This movie, it's not really about childhood trauma.
Yes, it is.
It's not really about BDSM.
Okay.
It's not. It's,
What is it about?
It's just about hot guys, hot girls having a good time, just getting a little freaky. This movie
man.
is a smutty masterpiece.
Ugh.
It's not accurate to the
Okay.
community.
No.
It's not. It's
Thank
not
you,
a
Ned.
nuanced dissection of sexual abuse and childhood trauma. It's just.
But it gets
It's,
the people going.
It's a romance novel in movie form. I mean,
That should have stayed in book
Book
form.
oh, that is $1 billion will say otherwise.
It has it really
Yeah.
made that. How much money has this
yeah.
movie made?
Like-
Let's look
Miles,
that
can we
up,
get
Miles,
that?
because
$571 million globally.
and
That's
counting.
the first one. That's one movie.
That's
Yeah,
one
this is a
movie.
billion-dollar
Okay.
franchise.
Okay, well, first of all, they released it on Valentine's Day, which
Every
was
year,
just
right?
Exactly.
brilliant.
Perfect.
And this movie.
What else are you gonna do?
What else are you gonna do? They made it to make people make their movie theater seats wet because let's be real, this was softcore porn.
Yeah.
Maybe not even softcore. It was very matte. It was like shot very like
Yeah,
Matt.
a lot of glossy nips and butts.
Yeah.
tons of glossy nipples,
and a little bit of an upper shaft.
a little upper shaft,
Little
which
upper
I
shaft.
was
Sure.
expecting more Shaft. I was a little miffed.
All right. There
You're
is-
into hardcore.
If you want to see more Shaft, there's a whole website.
I'm about to blow your mind.
It's a whole website. But no, there is a Netflix movie where the first 15 minutes, it's just full on mutual masturbation.
Yeah.
And it's starring one of the dudes from Devs. But it's just like that 15 minutes blows this movie out of the water. So it's just like, we're 5 years in the future, of course, blah, blah, blah.
What movie is that?
it's from TikTok.
We
You
take
saw it on
notes.
TikTok,
Yeah,
right?
I saw it on. I saw everybody reacting to it on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Is it
and then I was just
it's like a European film?
It's a European film. Yeah, it's French.
Yeah.
I want to jump like the bird's eye
Bird's
view
eye
because
view, yeah,
this movie shocked me
Oh,
to
it
my
shocked you.
core,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I
Get in there.
might argue was a little too sexy for me to handle.
Why? You are literally dressed as the tip of a condom. How is that possible?
I watched this movie like I just finished this movie, got in my car and drove
Jerked
here.
off.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I
Yeah.
don't know that it's okay for me to be seeing people right now.
Fair.
I feel like this movie needs to come with a warning that you should not come with your weapon loaded.
Stop saying
Right.
come so much. You said come so many times.
Yeah.
Come
Nobody
finish.
came during that entire film. Anyway.
It's like this roller coaster of cock teases of a movie experience where you're watching just very, very sexy stuff punctuated by the most boring dramatic scenes
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah.
And then it ends on what is the ultimate blue balls moment of just sadness.
No,
And I'm-
Zach. It doesn't end. It
begins.
begins. Because the movie cannot be viewed as a standalone experience,
Oh, please.
but as part of a larger, and it just goes downhill from there in movies 2 and 3. If you thought one was bad, it's just part of a larger story. Look. It's one of the greatest moments in cinema. Luke, I am your father, and of.
Spoiler.
Whoa. Okay. Sorry.
Which actually is a spoiler for Kelsey. She has not seen the Star Wars movies.
Oh, okay.
I watched the
All
first
right.
one with Chris or the 10th one. I don't fucking know.
But
They're all
look,
out of
the
order.
end of Empire Strikes Back, the biggest cliffhanger in all of cinema. The end of the 50 Shades of Grey is right up there.
Yeah. Okay.
Right up there, man.
If we can learn anything from the great franchise, Fast and the Furious, you start the movie, you end the movie, and then you're just like, what other characters can we explore? And then you go and you make 6 more movies,
Right.
not fucking ended at the first chapter of
right.
a book.
Ended at Act 1.
At Act 1, and then
essentially.
do 3 more movies of Act 2.
Yeah,
Act
and
3.
plus no like what they consider BDSM sex happened till the fucking 3rd act.
Yeah.
I'm like, I came here to see dick.
Right,
And I saw a dick
right.
in Christian Grey because he was the most abusive,
Oh my God.
stalkery, gaslighting motherfucker. Can I just say,
This-
I just have a bit to
think you
shoot for
have
like
to.
1 second.
Yeah.
Have
Do it.
any of you ever been the guy that's like, don't fall for me.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm not the one for you. And every girl's not like, oh my God, you're not.
Yeah.
Every girl is like, you have issues with your fucking mom.
Yeah.
And you should go to therapy. And I see straight through you. Are any of
Yeah.
you that guy?
I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
No.
Good.
There's a line. Okay, I'm reading this off of my phone, but there's a line that said, "There's some people that say that I don't have a heart at all." Who the fuck talks like that? Nobody's ever said those words out loud. And if you do say those words at like a bar, or at a party, or anything like that, you're quoting this movie, which makes you weird. It makes you
Even like if it's subconsciously quoting it, it's still weird. Even weirder, I would say. You just kind of internalize that behavior.
I kept trying to figure out like what his accent / speech impediment was the entire
speech
fucking movie,
impediment.
because the way he says Anastasia, Anastasia, and anesthesia, I'm like,
Anesthesia. He wants to put
where
her
are
under.
you from? And I can say that because I had a lisp growing up. Okay, speech impediment, fucking people. But I kept trying to be like, why does he talk?
Yeah.
Why do they talk to each other like 18th century poets?
Right.
And don't come after me, the 18th century poets. But like, they
come out
talk
of the grave.
dumb.
Yeah.
Who speaks that way?
It's because they both really like Thomas Hardy.
Yeah.
So Ned, I would love you to kind of talk me through the first time you saw this film and what enraptured you. What did you love about this experience?
Absolutely, Zach. So, picture this: Valentine's Day, 2015.
Oh, so you saw this in theaters?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Bitch, I saw this opening night.
No!
You have to. What? Who's gonna go to the movie theaters to see 50 Shades of Grey on February 15th?
Were people screaming
Yes.
their minds off?
You're
Yes.
cackling, you're laughing. Some moments you get a little hot, bothered.
A little spicy.
You see some boobies, you're like, whoa,
A little spicy.
whoa. But
touch
yeah,
a leg.
it's one of the steamiest comedies of our generation.
There are scenes that are genuinely funny.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I had obviously already read the books.
Obviously.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know Ned's a scholar.
I'm a scholar. I'm an artist. I'm a scholar.
Yeah.
So, first impressions were, whoa, this casting wasn't exactly how I imagined it, but you get on board.
Yeah. It was he.
But then it was just a visual representation of a masterpiece. I mean, who doesn't want to get swept off their feet by a...
But didn't the guy who played Mr. Grey look like a little too soft to be taken to? Like, if this guy with his fucking beard would have
Yeah.
thrown me
Charlie
around.
Hunnam can take me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. All right, I want to talk about things we love, but let's just start at what is my ultimate burning question: is Christian Grey hot? Because I don't know. When the movie started,
Yeah.
I was like, look at this little dweebus dork with his
Yeah.
fat ties,
Yeah.
his
Yeah, but you know why they're fat.
okay, all right,
He's
all
got
right.
like
yeah.
those handcuffs.
Oh, I thought that was like a dick reference.
Yeah.
Is that
thought
like
it was
a
a big
is
old
that like a
triangle.
metaphor? Like the bigger the tie, the bigger the dick?
I thought you were
That's
making
what I
one.
heard.
We were on board.
Skinny
That's what I
times
heard.
became
That's what my
popular
dad
when
told
you
me.
guys were all growing up.
Makes your dick look bigger, of course.
Right.
course.
Trim
yeah.
the hedges.
So I'm seeing the back of this guy, and I'm like, he looks like he's got my body. Like, this dude is not. And he has this like little dorky walk.
He's
And,
like, stop being so mean about the movie, and then he's like, he's got my body. Wow.
which is the meanest thing you could say about something. But then by the end of the
Also-
movie, I'm like, yo, this dude's pretty hot.
By the end of it, I'm on board. Like, I'm like, don't take me into an elevator, Jamie Dornan.
Something about elevators, though. I don't give a fuck if you're an 80-year-old businesswoman. I'm gonna try and touch you in an elevator.
That part of the movie spoke to you?
I will assault you in an
Yeah.
elevator.
That's how you get it. That's how you get out the claustrophobia or whatever. You're
Yes.
just like, I gotta touch something. Like, where do I go? You know,
But
you're kind of freaked out.
There is something about the we shouldn't be doing this that's hot. But when your entire like 6 months of your first relationship is we shouldn't be doing this, then that's like pretty gaslighty. And no matter how hot you are, that makes you ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And his head is very square,
Very square.
Too square.
Too square.
but I liked his upper shaft.
He knows how to play the piano, though.
Oh God, love a piano man.
Knows how
Yeah.
to use his fingers.
I-
Favorite things about the movie?
Okay, so I liked that when they opened the playroom, he had all of his sex toys lined up like the John Wick gun rack.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, all right, yeah, I'm into it.
We
And
all
I-
have our thing.
And I
he
just
organizes it. You know,
Organize-
it clearly keeps in good condition. Like
Yeah.
leather, you need to condition it.
Smells like,
Smells like
a
ass.
fucking Clorox bottle, right?
Oh, that too.
Like there's no way to make a room like that smell
Clorox
good.
and leather.
Yeah.
You can't clean leather with
No.
Clorox. Come on.
fucking
Completely ruined the integrity of the letter.
can't sell that on Facebook Marketplace.
Here's what I'm saying. Like, who doesn't want an entire room in their house dedicated to sex?
That's pretty dope.
That's pretty cool.
I don't care what you do in there. Just the square footage alone is like, that's high quality. That means you have a good sex life.
He's like
Pretty
Batman
impressive.
for fucking.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
I thought he was Batman the whole movie, but instead of the bat scaring him or killing his parents, they touched him as a child.
yeah, that's a good.
Oh no!
Yeah.
This is exactly the premise that E.L. James, or whatever the fuck her name was like, what if instead of Batman's parents dying?
So I don't know if you guys knew this, but it did start as, in order to understand 50 Shades of Grey,
Oh, God.
you have to understand that it started as a Twilight fan fiction.
Yeah.
Did you not
So
know?
the lip biting, the looking at each other like we want to, but we can't, the I'm so much more powerful than you, it all is because of vampires.
Yeah. Again, another movie failing the book. So it's just like, if you're just going to make a fanfic after something that also failed, don't do that.
But now close your eyes.
Okay.
Close your eyes and picture all these scenes again with Kristen Stewart. And doesn't
Oh,
it make
God,
sense?
it does.
Doesn't it make sense?
Doesn't it?
Yes.
Ooh, you feel that itch? It's the itch for the outdoors. It's grilling season, baby. Get outside, lather on some sunscreen. The sun is shining, and it's time to get yourself a butcher box and impress all your friends at the BBQ. You know what's gonna happen. The barbecue's coming, and it could drop at any moment. You gotta be ready for it. Luckily, today's sponsor, ButcherBox, believes everyone deserves high-quality, humanely sourced meat. And ButcherBox could not be easier. You just sign up, select your box, and they ship it right to your door every month. New members get free bacon for life when they sign up. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Every month, ButcherBox ships a curated selection of high-quality meat right to your home. Options like 100% grass-fed and finished beef, free-range organic chicken, heritage pork, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, yum yum, and sugar nitrate-free bacon. Backed by popular demand, receive bacon for life. Right now, new members can get bacon for life when they sign up. Just go to butcherbox.com/guilty. That's a package of free bacon in every box for the life of your subscription when you go to butcherbox.com/guilty.
Because here's what we have not talked about Anastasia Steele enough.
Yeah.
If we could bring her into the
Right,
conversation.
yeah.
First of all,
Anastasia.
did not know. I thought that was the girl from Gilmore Girls. 100%.
Oh, shit. Well, you don't know about Dakota? You don't know about Dakota
did
taking
not
down
know-
Ellen DeGeneres?
Oh, I saw. I know she's that girl now.
cool.
But when this came out,
Right.
you didn't know who she was, and then you were like,
She was-
now
she
I
was
know her
unknown.
fucking
She was
titties
a
like my
random
own. But here's what I loved about this character is that despite her being a virgin, which is a social construct, this motherfucker knew how to talk to the hottest, richest motherfucker like she was Carmen Electra. Like she just had the confidence.
She put him in his place a lot.
I like that. I think was cool, and you know her making her own decisions, like that way to give the female character some power over this.
I mean, that's contracts 101.
I mean,
You don't just sign the thing first offer. You
No.
gotta make
Man,
them
I
sweat
thought
a
about
little
you
bit.
during that scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a sex contract negotiation scene. I'm like, this is hitting Ned on both of it.
Yeah, right.
Everywhere
No
he
wonder he
went.
loves
That's
it.
why I was just like, maybe Ned loves this because of the business angle.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, man.
I mean, she's a savvy
Looking up
negotiator.
forms.
She's
She's
just like
quick,
just
she's
peeling
smart.
back the onion layers upon layers.
she has this like weird giggle that just
Yeah.
fucking. I mean,
Right.
nothing would make me feel more insecure than if that girl giggled right in my face when I'm trying to be serious.
Mhm.
And she worked at a hardware store, which I find weirdly badass.
Very cool.
I feel like
Yeah.
that was really just that was just shoehorned in there so that you could get a scene of him like
Buying rope.
rope and
Or-
shit. No way this bitch works at a hardware store.
Yeah.
This character, every single other aspect of her, no fucking way. That was the stupidest character choice.
Yeah.
The only reason they had her work at a hardware store. Who works at? No way.
Nobody
No
works
way.
at a
That is
hardware
like
store.
her interest. Her interests do not intersect. dissect there.
English literature and hammering doesn't. Well, something was being hand-fisted, but you don't think hammering?
Nothing was because she struck that out.
Bam.
So there you go.
did strike out fisting, which
Yeah.
like
A
girl.
genuinely funny scene. They're going through the contract, and
Yeah.
she's like, "I need you to strike anal fisting from the contract, and vaginal fisting. That's a no." It's like
Yeah.
it's good, well-written comedy. I
I
laughed.
would have laughed at it if I wasn't looking at this weird ass business room with just
Lighting.
lighting. It's just like this dark
They looked
fucking
like they were
red room.
drawn. Why is it so dark
Yeah.
and sexy?
Everything was Batman because that was Batman fucking Beyond right there. Where it's just like, why are we in the future now?
So the
Yeah.
the scene that Garrick is referencing is when they are writing the contract. They, for whatever reason, his office has a mode that he clicks where it's like red glow. And Miles, actually, can you do the lights around us?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get
you
some
can-
mood lighting in
Let's get some
here.
mood lighting. Let's
It's
get some
not-
business lighting.
not
'Cause this
been-
is how I take all of my business
I'm about
meetings.
to whip out my papers.
But it did make me wonder, does everyone that he works with,
Oh.
yeah, there
there's-
it is.
It's like fucking this,
No.
and it's so weird.
But
I
everyone
like
in this
that.
office, like he has an army of like femme power suit
Femme
boss ass
bots.
bitches.
And my theory is that they were all his submissives at some point.
Ooh.
And that's why they're all like just kind of
Ooh, deep
prissy or whatever.
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, yeah,
and they've
yeah.
all been fucked eye Evan, which is why
Yeah.
they walk so.
I mean,
right. And if
he,
she
um,
looked up, if she
He prefers brunettes because they like remind him of his mother who abandoned him or
Oh,
whatever. but-
see?
Oh, no.
You
Is that a
are
thing?
into the
That, like,
theory.
So-
We'll just skip right by that.
No,
I'll skip
you
right by
are
that.
into the
so that's why they're
theory.
all blondes because he didn't want to sleep
I
with
think
them.
so, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair. So there's a lot of like little nods to the book that you would notice just as while
you read
watching
the
the
book?
movie. No, I didn't.
Oh,
but
so
I'm
how do
just
you
like
know?
there are certain like things like he had OCD and nobody like
He did?
I feel like they got more into that in the book maybe. No.
Don't remember.
Wait, how do you know
OCD
this?
passage.
I'm guessing because I'm just looking at little small visual things where I'm just
Sort
like
of had like sex OCD, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which still is OCD.
Like
it's
the way
OCD,
he
it's
hung his
controlling
whips
shit.
and
And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
when she was asking for a pen, all of his shit was like lined up or whatever, and like all of the stuff on his
very
desk was
controlling,
like
he
very
said.
controlling and weird or whatever. But it's just like I'm sure these are details that went further in the book that I'm not gonna
I like
catch
that
in
Garrick
the movie.
is looking out for his mental health. Like you really just humanized him in that moment
Yeah.
that I hadn't thought about. Like,
Right.
oh my God, what if his childhood trauma had like come out and presented in different ways, such as like OCD. But
Yeah.
I think they did a horrible job at
course.
showing him as
Because
controlling and not
Yeah.
speaking to someone like
yeah,
they're your child.
Right.
The way he was like, are you drinking Anastasia?
right. And correct me if I'm wrong. The book is in first person, is it not, or is it? In
Yeah.
third?
Yeah, I
it's
think
from,
so.
It's
Or is it
from
you
Anastasia
are
Steele.
getting
Yeah, you're
fucked
getting
by
fucked by
Yeah, you
Right.
get to imagine yourself. And there's a bonus chapter that's first person from his perspective.
And that's the second
Oh,
book,
wow.
right?
No, that's
Oh.
just a bonus.
Yeah. Oh, you're thinking of the second season
Second
of The
book
Wire.
is a whole.
Classic.
Yeah, there it is.
1 through 3.
Where they go to the
season
doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you rather, Frank Sabatka or
Wow.
Christian Grey? Both of them are businessmen who like controlling things.
Who's got more money
and no
at this
logistics.
point in your
Yeah.
story?
This is why I think the movie is dangerous because the male gaze is also taken into account. And if you're watching the movie, it is from the third person. You are watching these two people hook up, not you hook up with this person as you read or whatever,
So
right?
you would have rather seen this in virtual reality.
Yes.
Got it.
100%. Because why not? Get that Samsung Galaxy, put it on your
Yeah.
head. This is an ad for Samsung.
Samsung, sponsored by.
No, but I think that you can put yourself in Dorian Gray's situation if you're like, or Dorian.
Oh, different book.
I'm
different
like,
book.
Different
who?
movie.
So sorry. I want to make that because his last name is
Gray.
Denham or some shit. Or
Huh?
what's the actor's last name?
Dornham?
Dornham. So I want to Dornham Gray is what I'm mixing it to, and then Dorian Gray. Blah blah blah.
I
Same
got you.
character. Anyway, Christian Grey. You're looking at him and you're just like, oh, I can be this guy that controls women if I have enough money.
Right.
And it's so that's a fucked up
Right.
capitalistic
Yeah.
stance, but it is not what the book is trying to explain.
Yeah, and girls are like, if he wants to control me, he loves me. I can change him.
Right.
I'm going to be the one brunette
Yeah.
in his lineup of blondes that
Yeah.
he changes for.
Right.
And it's like, both of them just need to really go to therapy.
100%.
You know who needs to
This
go to
could-
therapy the most out of the entire fucking cast is her roommate.
Yeah.
You want to talk about controlling?
Yeah.
That is the most abusive relationship out of the entire show. Her roommate fucking opens her mail, okay, her gifts that are being sent to her.
Oh, fuck.
She eats her food. Do you see the way she snatched that sandwich right out of her
I wondered if that
fucking-
was trying to establish Anastasia as submissive because they were like, she just let someone steal her food.
Let people
Look
walk
at that.
right all over her.
Geniuses over here.
And
I wrote
she's
that moment too.
blonde, so she would have been
Yeah.
Christian's type, right?
Yeah.
And she was probably a little sad that little mousy roommate, who is not mousy at all, hot with nice titties, got the guy.
Yeah.
I may not be remembering this correctly, but I'm pretty sure her roommate ends up like marrying Christian Grey's brother, and
Right.
it's like they're all like a big happy family at the end.
Did they all
Spoilers.
fuck?
All right.
Nobody should watch it.
Okay.
We might.
Well, all right. Have me back in a month.
Oh no.
Can I ask to
Yeah.
be spoiled at this point, or like what happens at the end, like the end of the book, end of the series?
It's like
Oh, can we guess first? Because here's my I wrote this in my notes immediately. I'm like, full arc. If this franchise does not end with Anastasia pegging Christian Grey,
Right.
yes. Like it needs
Absolutely.
to this
Right.
needs to turn the
Absolutely.
tables
Because-
she needs to become his dom. Like
Yeah.
that's what this movie
Right.
needs to be.
Right.
Because it's not like where this is 2000. This is
Yeah.
2015. Like you have
Right.
the chance to make this right, you guys.
yeah.
I have
I
all
want to
three
see
movies coming out.
Anastasia take
'Cause-
the whip and fuck
Right.
him up.
Because Barbara Gray, Barbara Gordon eventually becomes Batgirl, and I want to see that 100%. Why would I not?
Wait, all three movies are out, right?
Yeah.
So there were three?
Oh yeah. Well, did they split the last one up into 2 miles?
Like Harry Potter?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Yeah, there's 3, and they get increasingly disjointed and are just kind of a collage of sex scenes with minimal plot. But
That's what you want.
that's what you
Right.
that's what
Because
you
I paid
want. Look,
$17
you know,
for it.
you're there
Yeah.
to just like experience a smutty romance. Mix things up a little bit. Like it's not, like don't worry about it. I will spoil the ending if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I remember I read it, but I don't remember a single fucking thing that happened. I read all of them.
Wow.
They like live happily ever after.
They have
Okay, of
kids?
course.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
shit.
Yeah.
What? Okay, but there's a scene in one of the trailers.
You watched
for
all the
third-
trailers?
I watched all the trailers.
Yes.
Where he's like running away from like danger or like the.
Oh yeah,
law.
there's this whole thriller scene. There's like somebody who's trying to like kill them or
It's a
whatever.
cra-
I
it's
don't
like a
really
crazy
remember the
ex
details.
Sub who like was in love with him.
Yeah, there's that. And then there's also like a guy who's rapey and like could have been adopted by the rich family but wasn't. He's like, you stole my place. We were both at the orphanage together.
What?
I wouldn't even worry about it, guys. This podcast is about 50 Shades of Grey.
Does
the
Rita
first
Ora
movie.
return?
I have the most tea on Rita
You have
Ora.
tea on Rita Ora? Rita Ora is in like every movie franchise for one scene.
Rita Ora is
Ora-
the
she was in the
sister.
movie?
Yeah, she was in that for one fucking scene.
She's Christian Grey's adopted sister.
Wait, welcome to our favorite recurring segment, Outing Celebrities. Kelsey, what do you got on Rita Ora?
Outing celebrities. So my boyfriend, before he moved in with me, lived in the house that Rita Ora lived in and still would get her mail all the time.
It's not tea. That's felony.
But
no,
what
in her
kind
mail.
of what kind of mail does someone get? I'll let your mind wander.
Oh,
Scientologist? She's Scientologist.
racist male.
That's the only thing that like matters. Like that raises mail, we don't care. Like we're not going to shame any other type of behavior. No, yeah, but she also made music for it,
Yeah.
right? That's why.
For this movie?
Oh.
Did
I don't know
Beyonce
what type
make a
of
song
music
for it?
she
And
did.
I'm
Beyonce-
furious.
They slowed down Drunken Love.
I mean,
think.
to
Crazy
me,
in
it's
Crazy
like
in Love, my
when,
fault.
the music that's synonymous with 50 Shades of Grey is
God.
Ellie Goulding. I
Goulding.
believe she did a track on every single soundtrack, and it was like an exclusive.
Yeah.
She made it for the movie, and it's an amazing song.
Here is all right. Here's how I think you could not fix the movie, let it gain at least 10 percentage points in the Rotten Tomato score. Get rid of the score. Get rid of the score.
Are you kidding
The
me?
score is fucking ass. It
really?
is just so like
No.
this is a really
I think that's one of its saving graces.
no. I think that this is a really weird like dark fucking thing, and you throwing in dark pop beats does not make it dark at all. Take away all the fucking music. Let that shit just.
It's like what
just wanna
Charlie's
hear-
Angels tried to do with Ariana Grande.
Yeah, don't
The
do dark
point is,
beats.
it's not a dark
You are.
fucking thing.
Yes, it is,
It's
man.
pretending to be a dark fucking
You
thing.
can't
It's
pretend
dangerous.
with
Really
it.
not.
But you can't pretend with it. It's just like he's wearing black leather all of the time. He's wearing a gimp outfit probably in the second one. I don't know.
Probably.
Like,
Yeah, he does
Is
put
the
on
50
his sex
Shades-
jeans.
Is the
Yeah.
50 Shades title because of his 50 Shades of Grey ties?
Uncommon Goods is something you truly have to check out to understand. It's an online shop filled with unique, totally unexpected gifts. And when I say unexpected, I mean original things you won't find anywhere else. And with Father's Day coming up on June 20th, now is the perfect time to check out the site. My dad is a huge classic rock nut. He loves music, concerts, has a crazy big vinyl collection. So for Father's Day, I found they had these upcycled vinyl coasters. Now he gets to think about music and protect his table from his drinks. If you want to be a good child like me, go to Uncommon Goods. It's the place to go for thoughtful, original gifts for everyone in your life. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, you are supporting artists and small, independent businesses. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They don't sell products made with leather, feather, or fur. It's a Brooklyn-based company, and they're all about giving back. With every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice, and to date, they've donated over $2.5 million. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/guilty. That's uncommongoods.com/guilty for 15% off. Don't you miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. No.
Okay, so there are way too many gray puns in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Her last name is Steele, Gray.
Oh.
They live in Seattle.
His last name is Gray. Boom.
His last name is Gray. He's got gray ties.
And to answer, the title comes from our favorite moment of the movie in which he, I'm gonna let you do it.
Oh my God. He said, okay, so he, in a brooding moment, stands out the window, looks at the gray sky, and says, I'm 50 shades of fucked up. It's like, get the fuck
You
out of my
fucking
face.
300 him out the window?
I want to kick him out of the window.
That's a beautiful
No,
moment
it's
of
not.
cinema.
But I still
You know
don't
what's a
get
good
it.
moment of cinema outside of a window at the end of Succession, which is a better, way better, version of this.
series. Yeah.
Like I know, you know what I'm talking about. Rich people.
the
I'm talking
movie
about
at
rich
the end of
people.
Succession.
At the end of the fourth episode of Succession, it's bookended the same way that this movie is,
Yeah.
where he's like,
Did not expect secession in this podcast.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is all
Any
about
reason
rich
to
people.
talk about it.
So.
what's my guy's name? The fucking son, the main son.
Kendall.
Kendall is thinking about killing
Jeremy
himself.
something?
Jeremy Strong. Thinking about killing himself.
Right.
Goes on the roof.
Right.
Looks out and looks over, and he's just like, nah,
And
I'm
then
not gonna do
Beyonce
it.
plays. Got
Beyonce
me
plays.
looking so crazy right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, exactly. Beyonce plays. The whole thing happens. A shooting happens inside of the building. You find out somebody killed themselves. Blah blah blah. Go back to Jeremy Strong at the end. Looks out. Goes on the roof. Thinks about killing himself again, but sees that there's a plexiglass in front of him now, and he just puts his head on the window, and then
it's
that's
just like,
the end of the
doink.
fucking thing. And it's so fucking beautiful. It's such a good bookend of a piece of television, a piece of art. And then this movie did it, and
You
they're just
have
like,
convinced me that Secession is better than 50 Shades. I was on the fence. I didn't
In case
know.
you didn't have to compare Emmy
Yes.
Awards versus how many Oscars did 50 Shades win?
I was thinking about it while watching. I was like, yo, Succession, I mean, shows in general, or all of these HBO shows, are really shitting on movies these days.
Yeah, everyone wants to be a TV star again.
Yeah, because it's just like, I mean, how much
don't
money is
disagree.
going into Succession, and how much money went into this movie, where it's just like, oh, look at all these extravagant
I
locations.
actually don't
and so on and so
think very much. I
think
mean,
it was a lot.
how much does it cost to rent a helicopter? That's like the biggest budget scene.
that's-
Garrick's brain was desperate to go anywhere else.
Yeah, it's just like I can't even look at my cat right now.
I don't know what's going on with me then, guys, because you like, look, yes, is there a lot to dunk on? Absolutely. Is it potentially very problematic in its
Yeah,
portrayal of relationships?
100%.
Almost absolutely. But I was sitting there watching the movie, especially in the first act. Personally, I think you stop the movie at the midpoint because it just that's all you
what you
need.
need.
But in the first 45 minutes when they're not kissing and he wants to,
Yeah.
I literally blurted out loud, this movie's working on me. I wrote it down.
As your fiance slowly looks over and is like, all right.
And she's like, slowly takes off her ring. She's
Right.
like,
And by the
You
way,
guys
for
watch
context,
it together or what?
no, she's at work. I did this all by myself.
in the shadows
that's
of his
rough.
own fucking ego.
But as soon as I wrote that line down, then the next line was him saying, "I don't make love, I fuck
Yeah.
hard."
Yeah. That was just like,
So I don't know
You
what
guys said in the beginning. The show's about learning to fuck and learning to love.
And that's
It's a little intersection.
deep-
We meet in the middle. That's called a climax.
hey.
all right. Hey, yo.
And then it ends with a cliffhanger.
It ends before
What if you actually just
anyone
wanna fall
has
off the
ended. In that, like, doesn't this Gilmore Girl lead look like she's orgasming all the time, even
the
when
time.
she's just talking, which is a whisper?
I believe that's what they cast her for.
She's whispering the entire
Well, but
Yeah.
even no, okay, yes, I'm glad you
Good
brought that
sound
up.
mixing, though, right? You could hear
Yeah,
her.
great sound mixing. Even when she's yelling at him, she's whispering.
No, I'm thrilled you brought this up because the way that they introduce her character, like
Oh my
literally
God.
her opening shot, she looks in the mirror and then bites her lip.
Yeah.
This girl is so desperately horny.
To be
That is all we know about her. That is all she is.
She runs hot. She runs hot. She runs warm for sure.
And then she runs out into the pouring rain. That is her character arc. Is she needs to
fucked.
she needs to learn how to masturbate.
Yeah, I
Is
became a
frankly
way
what-
better person when I started orgasming regularly. My parents will tell you, like, they could tell a difference. They were like, "You are a nicer person,"
Yeah.
and I think
Let that be a
she
PSA.
was too confident to not have ever come.
Yeah.
I think she just never had sex, but she could masturbate, right?
I don't know.
I
I don't know.
There was that scene where after she lost her virginity, even though that's a social construct,
sir.
which is what I learned today. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Where her roommate is just like, you seem different. And then she was like, I feel different. And then I was like, Dakota, you're not acting different though. You are the same fucking character this whole time. So what's going on?
Yes, and that fucking line, you seem different. And then a girl being like, what? No, I'm totally exactly the same. She was like, no, I got fucked last night for the
Yeah,
first time.
right.
Like, she just went all in.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you're so right. She was one tone. She did not shift character-wise the entire fucking movie.
I think she was totally different. In the first scene, she was biting her lip. In the second scene, she was
biting
sucking
her
on a
lip.
pencil.
Yeah.
Is the movie good? No.
Wow.
Nobody's
No,
arguing
man.
that. But it did it do things for you? Did it?
Oh, that's
did
what
it
you
give-
reminded me
give
what I
you
was
a
going
little
to say.
steamy good time.
So here's where
inspire yourself to,
I got wet.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Now time for Kelsey's
All right.
next
Yeah.
segment. Here's where I got
Just, you
wet.
shouldn't lick a stamp. And
Just my hand. So the like sex scenes felt really contrived. They felt really like acted. They felt very like choreographed. Where I got wet was when they walk into the garage and she goes, "Which one's yours?" And he goes, "All of them." And then opens the car door for her.
Oh.
And that was genuinely the first time that I got a gurgle in my tummy. Don't know if it was the acid reflux. I had eaten all day. But genuinely, I was like, oh, I'm still into the part of like
Basic
two
human
people
decency.
falling in.
Yeah,
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 like,
yeah.
oh my God, like when a guy opens a door for you, it's like, like,
So it wasn't when he took his shirt off, climbed over, and bit her toast.
which was so rude. Like
so
she's
weird.
hungover.
She's trying to eat
She's
breakfast,
hungover.
man.
Yeah, you give her toast and then take it away from
And
her.
then he was just like, if you were mine and blah, blah, blah. And she just kind of took that. And she's like, I
think-
would have been like, dog,
I think
get
he said
here,
if-
bro. Like, what do you mean
Why do you
yours?
talk like that?
I think he said
sir?
if you were mine, you wouldn't be able to walk for a week.
Yes.
Right.
Like, what do you...
That's a threat in
That's
my
a-
book.
yeah.
Ariana
Could
Grande
have
could
pressed
never.
Charges.
Yeah.
That's what the contract's
She could
for.
have pressed...
Kelsey, does
romance
that
factor.
romance factor also apply to having Taylor order a helicopter for you?
Yeah, like that's hot, but it didn't really like it's not realistic.
Yeah.
It's a girl's fantasy that a guy's gonna wake up one morning and be like, I got us a helicopter, we're going to Paris and you can buy whatever outfit you want. You think you want that until your fucking partner did that. And I would be like, Jared, are you manic? Or what the fuck did you do to the bank account?
Right.
Like,
Are
no,
you
we have
okay?
stuff to do. Like there's
Yeah.
COVID. Like you think you want this fantasy.
Yeah.
But when you get there, it's like you just want missionary, 6 minutes tops, in bed by 10.
Yeah.
You do not need the
Fair.
whips and chains excite me.
Good night's sleep is
Yeah, crucial.
Yeah.
What's the point of sex if you can't stare into each other's eyes, right? That's what I always say.
Maggie's so lucky. You look at her. Lucky.
I have a complex system of mirrors, so no matter what we do,
Okay, I'm gonna go a little weird here.
do it.
When you're trying to come,
Yep.
it's a specific way, right?
Yeah.
Like you have your go-to, like I know this works. Let's get her done.
Mm-hmm.
In this like new BDSM world, where there are so many positions and tools and knots, you got to learn how to tie certain knots and things. It's like, doesn't it seem like at some point you're just not coming anymore? No, you're coming.
No. I'm saying that. Yeah,
yeah,
you're not,
like
you're
it's
not.
so much work.
I mean, that was very montaged out. I did wonder, like, it takes time to tie that knot.
Yeah.
It takes time to get in and out of the
Right.
cuffs.
Yeah, like where does the pleasure part come in?
And that brings up Christian Grey looks like a Boy Scout, and there's no other way around it. He looks like a fucking Cub Scout.
He could wear an ascot so hard and
Right.
look completely normal.
Right?
True.
Yeah, he's got the ass of a Cub Scout.
I think you guys are overlooking. She worked at a store.
Yeah.
She knows how to tie a knot.
That's true.
That's fair. But
guys
working
have
at a hardware store doesn't turn you into a fucking sailor.
Yeah. No,
That's
Home
how we
Depot
should have
people
met
are
her.
The employees are the most unhelpful motherfuckers. And I'm calling you out, Home Depot. I don't give a fuck. When I was building our RV this
Calling
summer,
out the
I
working
had to go
class.
there probably 6 times in one day because one guy would tell me I needed this kind of pipe, and then another guy's like, you need a PEX pipe, and this guy's like, no, you need a male to female, and then the other one's like, you need a female to female, and then I'm just like, gender's just a fucking construct. Why do our pipes have dicks and pussies? And none of them could help me fix a simple plumbing mistake. I'm like, why do you work here if you don't know
Yeah.
how to plumb?
Oh, I just get a discount on my bondage stuff.
Yeah, right. Yes.
That's what Christian Grey should have done.
But like I do think that Home Depot is like the Walmart of hardware
Where do you
stores.
go? Lowe's and Walt?
No, just like random, like really small places, like Aces Hardware or like some. You go there and then some dude will be like, oh, you need this type of tape because this is gonna hold for this amount of water pressure and so on and so forth. Because it's like his dad's shop and he's been living there for years.
So Home Depot is not where it's at.
Home Depot's not where it's at.
Got it.
I have a burning question.
Yeah.
My first burning question is Christian Grey hot? I don't know what we decided
I said
there.
no because of his creepy behavior.
There you
Depends
go.
on what
Not
your
hot.
favorite shape is. If it's a circle or a square.
You like squares?
You like
You're
squares?
coming.
You're in there. You're
Not at the beginning, yes, by the end.
Because he's broken.
No, Kelsey, because you start to develop an affinity for the characters and the way, it's like, look, guys,
No,
this movie is not good. That's why it's on the podcast.
That's true.
We gotta stop dragging it and start supporting.
Okay.
It made $500 million. We don't need to support
It's
it
an
anymore.
underdog.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
okay.
support of Ned and his
Guilty pleasure.
sex obsession. It doesn't deserve to be in the 20s on Rotten Tomatoes.
You're saying
It's
higher?
in the 20s, Miles.
It's in the 20s.
That is too low.
It's too low.
It's a solid
I think it's-
45er.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
like
45.
I agree. Look, again, there were scenes. It was working on me.
Yeah.
It was funny in some moments. It had the star power of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
It had nipple. Any show with that much nipple should
Lot of
not be in the
nipple.
20s.
That's true. You get
Just an automatic-
10%
Yeah.
just for
Right.
showing each tit. So that's 20%
Baseline.
right
Yeah,
there.
that's brave.
I want to talk about the ending, the wildly controversial ending to 50 Shades of Grey.
I'm glad it's controversial because I couldn't believe that that's how they ended the movie. What you got?
Pretty rough. Well, it
Literally.
has to be, you have to think of it as a trilogy. It's a horrible ending as a standalone movie. If it had flopped and they didn't make any others, it would have go down as one of the worst movies of all time.
Yep.
But as a trilogy, I mean, we're just starting to feel for these people, and then it leaves us wanting more.
This is the equivalent of in the great franchise Fast and Furious, the third installment. If in Tokyo Drift it ended
On Han's death.
on Han's death.
Yeah.
It ended on
Yeah.
Han's death. Han dies, and you're just like, Christian, and it was like, I'll beat your ass, bro. Like, you better finish this fucking movie. Are you out of your mind?
So the movie ends, but it did the Black Mirror thing where it cuts to black and I just see my reflection and my arms flailing, going, "What? No, you can't!" I screamed. I screamed at my TV. Which, look, I know we got problems with this movie, but any film, any piece of cinema that can elicit a reaction that strong means that I was invested.
That's true.
I will give you that.
I was pissed.
I was
I was
invested.
furious. I need more.
You know what, Zach? We'll see you next Valentine's Day.
Right? Did it come out the next Valentine a year later?
Yeah.
think
And why
they
do you think it
filmed them
made
all
so
at
much
once.
money? Everyone wants to find out what happens next.
I wanna
It's a
see them
TV
fuck
show
again.
in movie form.
But people must have screamed in the theater, right?
I don't know.
They were like,
Yeah.
"Can you eat snacks
Honestly, at
during
that
this?"
time, they're ready to just like start making out.
Well, okay, so let me ask this. I don't know that this movie actually is good foreplay, which is what I assumed it would be. I think you need to end this movie.
This movie was nothing but foreplay. What are you
No,
talking about?
I know, but like, if I put this on and then I'm like, ooh, after this movie, we're gonna have sex. First of all, by the end of 2
they're
hours of
breaking
the
up.
start-stop, my boner is exhausted.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
true.
keep up
That's
with
very
this.
exhausting.
It's so-
And the ending does kind of leave you a little upset. I'll tell you what this movie is for. This movie is for watching it at home, pausing it in the middle of a
That's
sex
what I
scene,
assumed.
There you go.
taking a
Jerking
little
it.
sex break.
Yeah.
Also,
And then finishing the movie like maybe or maybe not.
Yeah, you're like, oh, the 48-hour
don't know,
rental
man.
period's up. Man,
Because,
Wikipedia it.
America invented a little thing called pornography. And you can just do that
Blow
for
Your
free.
mind.
you're gonna fucking explode.
Lose your
Because
shit. I know you have 2 kids.
And you
but
don't have to pay for it.
you don't. Although you should.
There are
ads. Yeah. Wait, but you are right. Like, there's something to the emotional buildup.
Maybe you live in Milwaukee.
The freakiest
You read
chicks
it on
ever.
a Kindle. You're like, it didn't want anyone to know. It's like now
Yeah.
it's a movie. It's acceptable to tie somebody up with like a tie or something.
I will
it's
give
like
it that.
it's not
People
a
that
bit.
are in
it's-
BDSM culture and no dom sub relationships were fucking pissed about this
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
They were
really?
like, it depicts us in the
very
wrong way.
disrespectful to the
Very
community.
disrespectful. Very incorrect. Also,
I want to know how it was disrespectful.
hold that thought.
Yeah.
The thing I think it did do was it opened up the sexual exploration to people who maybe never would have, the same way romance
I
novels.
got some ideas.
Exactly.
got
That's
some
it.
ideas.
That's exactly what it's all about, Kelsey.
But
I-
to your point, to your question, number one, he was breaking all of his own rules and boundaries and hella gaslighting her of being like, I can't be in a relationship. My hard rule is I don't sleep with anyone in bed and then sleep with other in bed. My
because
hard
he's
rule
learning to
Hello,
love
but
her.
it's like you don't have that in that relationship when you say like my hard line is this or like it just
You're right.
it doesn't change without both parties having a mutual agreement.
You gotta
Next-
you gotta ask, does the experimentation of the people who wouldn't otherwise do that outweigh the setting up of extremely dangerous
yeah.
portrayals of that life? You know,
Right.
it's,
Yeah.
you
The
gotta
other
outweigh
extremely
it.
dangerous portrayal was like there are no legally binding contracts in BDSM.
Yeah.
Period. Like it's all about like trust and setting boundaries and like I said, like every boundary. And he's a fucking stalker.
That's one of the biggest complaints. Is
Yeah.
like it portrays him as like
Someone
fucked
who's-
up
someone
and
who's
like
touched.
Someone
it's
who
like
needs therapy.
abuse.
They make
Yeah.
they make jokes about
It's like,
him
oh,
being
the
a
reason
serial
he's
killer.
doing that is
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he was abused, which
Right.
is
And
not
But
the
about
case.
it probably did get a lot of people interested
Spice up their casseroles.
and spicing up their
Spice
casseroles.
up your
Yeah.
casserole.
That should have been the
think-
tagline.
I think that the
Buy a peacock feather.
did the book do that
many
more
peacocks
though?
died?
Because I remember when that book came out, like
probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember
yeah.
liking
But
the
you can
book
make more money on the movie.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And you get to see it.
The movie makes it such like a campy. Yeah, you never forget that you get to see the boobs.
Yeah, you know why it's campy? Because of the score. Because they put
Yeah.
fucking pop shit in there, and it's just like, all right, I don't want to hear people that I know of. I want to hear about
I don't know
Lana
when
Del
she
Rey,
says goodbye,
you know?
Mr. Gray.
Love me like you do.
Yeah,
Love
that's-
me. Love me.
like you
do.
No.
Which isn't really saying much.
Garrick's like, no.
This is
you
a
cannot
very-
equate this to like an EDM bop or something like
Yeah.
that. Or like remember that
Yeah.
one time you were drunk at a party and then
I
you're just
think
like, I heard this.
You would just
Where'd I
have
hear
to.
Where's it
from?
from? 50 Shades?
50 Shades of Grey.
Is that 50
When he was-
Shades of
that was
Grey?
when he was whipping her. Oh, I gotta
Yeah,
sober up,
yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
I gotta go home. That's
I gotta call
so
an Uber.
weird. I gotta call
I just
an
got
Uber.
sad.
Yeah.
This fucking music brings back sad
Right.
memories.
And I do think for that reason, it fails me on what I need it to do the most, is that it doesn't leave me wanting to go fuck. It leaves me going like, oh,
You
I
wanna
hope they're
cry.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I think if you stop the movie 45 minutes in, which sounds like is your plan, Ned, I
Sure
think it's
is.
a
Yeah.
hella good time.
It's a good time. All right.
Here's my burning...
I felt like excited at the end, and not in the way that you think.
Yeah.
I felt excited that she finally fucking drew the line.
broke
Yeah.
the chains.
She broke
Yeah,
the
she was like,
chains. She's
"Yeah."
a chain breaker. Khaleesi, motherfucker. And that excited me.
And you were
kept me coming back for the second
excited to
one.
watch the second one where
I
she
did.
totally regresses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you
Like, I'm
completely
back.
get control over again.
Because somebody's trying to kill you, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me break down the levels of fucked up here.
Yeah.
Okay. So he is like abandoned by his mother very drastically. That's what the burns are. It's like
It's crack
abusive.
Crack pipe burn.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Everyone knows that
exactly.
crack pipe burn.
I know crack pipe burn when I say crack pipe burn.
So then he's in an orphanage, he gets abused more, and then he gets adopted by this very wealthy family. He's like dealing with that. And then I think when he's like, a teenager or something, he sort of has a relationship with this older lady in a, submissive dom way. I guess it's the something about the control and submitting himself helps him like get control over his own issues, and then also like makes him want sexually want to be that way.
Yeah.
So that I think is like how he's gotten to be where he is.
Look, who are we to
There's
question a
also this-
successful billionaire? None of us are billionaires.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
very Elon Musk, where you're like, would I fuck that guy? How much money he has? Like, seems like he's got a lot of shit going on upstairs in the back parts that he's not.
But that's
talking
where the
about.
OCD comes in.
Aha.
It's
Yeah.
like that's
comes out
that
in that
is
way.
like, oh, he is so controlling because that's like, I guess
Because he was out of
how
control
he-
Yeah.
in his
he
formative
was out of
years.
control.
But it was, in his formative years.
It's a little messed up.
Yeah.
I also think it was weird that they had sex right after he had like every time, after every scene. Oh, but like after he like failed with like a business deal or something like that, and he took his frustration out on this poor woman. Like, what are you doing? Like, I thought that the whole thing where people were just like, hey, don't hit your kids or whatever, right? Okay, I know this is, or whatever. Don't hit your kids. Don't get fired from your job. Get drunk and then go home and hit your wife or whatever. This is the same thing. This is literally the same thing. He is taking his aggression out from his day out on this person that he is now taking care of completely, buying cars for, and all of this stuff where she's like, okay, I'm kind of trapped. I mean, what do you want me
you
to
don't
do?
think that was weirder than the time where she tells him she's a virgin and he immediately goes, well, I'm going to fix this.
I'm going to fix it.
No,
And
he
then
actually first says,
Fucks her!
Yeah.
he says, you're remarkable. Where have you been?
Right.
It's
Oh my God. This is
Look.
like the sleepover all over.
It's a pretty
forget.
gross movie. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of forgot those moments. Yeah.
And as
Not
you're
great.
watching it, you're like, oh no, my name's attached to the title.
Oh no.
Whatever. It's a movie.
stand by the moments you stand by.
Yeah.
Guys, I got some fun facts for you about
Oh,
this
my
movie.
favorite
Love
part.
that.
There are some surprising ones. So as Ned mentioned that, yes, the series began as Twilight fan fiction. It was called Master of the Universe, which wish they had kept that title. Here's one that really shocked me. Dakota Johnson had a butt double during filming.
What about a nipple double?
Those were all her.
So what's wrong with her butt? She got
Yes,
a weird
she
butt.
I don't know.
She got a weird
She
butt.
got that flat
At one
ass.
point, I was like, wow, Dakota Johnson got a good butt for Dakota Johnson. you know?
Wow.
And
I did not know that.
not hers.
With a name like Dakota, you gotta have a fat ass.
You got it. Maybe that's what it was, and she was trying to keep it a secret.
She had like a donk.
Oh my
and
God.
she was like, I will not be fetishized.
Yeah, right.
My
That's
butt's
what it
too
I'm
good
coming-
for this
I'm coming
character.
for you, Dakota. Get on over here, Dakota. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'm going off this list. I forget the name. The woman who directed this movie.
Sam. I can't remember the rest.
You'll
It's
know who I'm
Sam.
talking about. She is married to the lead from Kick-Ass, and they met during Nowhere Boy. And it was this big story a couple years ago because they have over a 10-year age gap with her being older, very rare in Hollywood, and they have tons of wildly sexy photos together, but then talk about how private they are, but then do photo shoot. It makes
does
look.
it.
I'm not trying to say,
She
but
does it.
it makes me think that they've got
A sex dungeon.
They
Well, she
got a
got
sex
paid
dungeon.
over $2 million to direct the movie.
Yeah, you can afford a sex dungeon with that.
And she then walked back on her artistry after the movie came out to not critical acclaim. And she said that the material was difficult to work with.
So she blamed the sources.
Yes,
Okay,
she blamed
that's.
E.L. Grey
I mean,
James.
you're not gonna.
So we talked about Charlie Hunnam, who could have been Christian Grey.
Grey.
The woulda, if only.
He would have
But
grown that beard all up.
Yeah.
Fucking boom.
Dog, I was just saying, the
Yeah.
beard
Yeah.
would have done it for me.
Yeah, and he would have like as you zoom past all of his sex toys, you just see like an axe in the corner. It's just like, yeah, we don't forget where we come
Yeah. The North remembers.
well, other actors who were considered for the role of Christian
God.
Grey, we had Magic Mike's Alex Pettyfer. I don't know who that is.
Magic Mike?
Gossip Girl actor Chase Crawford, who
No,
would have
too soft.
loved the challenge of the role. He
He's
said,
too soft.
That
That's
Chuck?
No, it's Nathaniel.
"Yeah, I don't like that casting."
He already did a storyline in Gossip Girl where he was with an older woman, so it would have been too similar.
Too much.
You couldn't have taken him out of the Nathan Vander, whatever his name is.
Someone who had gunned for the role, Vampire Diaries and Lost Star Ian Somerhalder.
No, I hate his eyes.
He's too. I think too beautiful
and too much of a vampire.
Too much of a vampire. Right. Oh, that's already. And then this one I think would have worked really well. Actor Alexander Skarsgård said that he was born to play this role. Guys, he wanted to do it.
The one
If
person
Skarsgård would- yeah.
that
Skarsgård would have been
better
perfect.
that would've been
Charlie
great.
Hunnam.
Ooh,
It's Alexander
shit.
Skarsgård.
No, he's a vampire.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, you're
He
right,
can.
dude.
Yeah.
Everyone who was
Was he
almost
a,
cast for this
He was
a
in
vampire.
True Blood.
Oh, got you.
He was like the fucking
Right.
Christian Grey of True Blood.
Yeah.
But can you imagine?
Yes, because he already played the
Skarsgård?
role.
Oh yeah.
Skarsgård
See the guy in
would've-
Big Little Lies?
He is the guy in Big Little
Yeah,
Lies.
okay.
No,
So
but if
that
you didn't see him in
would've-
True Blood, that'll rock your
Okay.
fucking ditties.
Yeah, right.
will-
Would rock those ditties
Oh,
loose.
you know what I'm saying? If
Ditties are
you want to
ovaries.
imagine that, it already exists.
Man, oh man. And what? That's now. I'll be thinking about what could have been.
Right. 'Cause
They
even
really
in-
made a bad choice.
Even in Big Little Lies, he gets a little,
Rough.
not a little, but he goes over the line, of course.
Spoiler
which
alert.
is what it's about.
But you
Yeah.
It's
also
there.
casted a man for this role that was married, which was like your number one problem. Is like no one can pine after him. Now you cast someone like Chris Pine, and then women can go like, I have a chance. But this guy's like married and devout to his wife with children, and
Ew.
you're like, oh, you take him out of Christian Grey clothes, and he's just a fucking dad.
Yeah.
With my body.
Like your whole fan base can't like
sustain that. for
like
sure.
slut over him.
Yeah.
You know, you picked the wrong choice.
It is funny because I remember when the casting happened, I never read the books, I didn't see the movie, and I was opinionated. I was like, they cast this guy?
Yeah.
Now, do you think in like 20 years when our kids are kids, they will remake this film?
Oh God, I don't know.
I hope
Wouldn't
not.
this be an
Oh, just like a
incredible
reboot?
remake? Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm so in.
HBO should do it as a miniseries, and I think they would get that correct.
And they would fucking
With Jeremy Strong. No, I'm kidding.
They would get that so right.
I think they would get it really, really right.
You'd have to do significant rewrites.
Because yeah, you would have. I think that books.
I think
need
E.L.
to be,
James
like,
wouldn't be allowed to be involved.
No.
I- you'd
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah,
you'd have to
separate.
change the title too.
Yeah.
It's
You-
really
let's
just a
write
completely new story.
show.
No, but like it has to be like 6 hour and a half long things.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, so Garrick your takeaway from this movie is you just wanted so much more.
He wanted more. He wanted to be
You
long.
wanted to live in that world.
With books for sure. Like you gotta dive deep into the source material.
Yeah.
I
So,
think.
so your dislike comes from a deep reverence for the source
Yeah, I
material.
think so.
All right,
I think
right
this
on.
is
I
the
don't know
first
that
movie.
the book is that well written. though.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's like
Ooh, but I mean,
the deeper we go, oh man.
Yeah,
boy.
I guess I'd have to see. Well, based on how bad you're saying it gets, that kind of like gets me excited because I think what I was just about to say was this is the first movie we've talked about where I have changed my mind. I now think this
Wow.
is actually so bad that it is good.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
I actually
There we
kind of
go.
am on board. I kind of,
Yeah.
because as soon as you were talking about it, I was like, I think I'm going to go home and watch the second one. Just to see
yeah,
what
right.
happens.
It's just like I need to know.
Yeah.
a
I'm not going to
little bit
spend
what's
money on it, but I do
It
kind of want to watch it.
It's smutty. It's a
say it
delight.
again, Ned.
Smutty,
Thank you.
smutty brilliance.
I know that there's a helicopter crash in one of them.
There's
referring to.
there's like a smash cut to them being on a sailboat for no reason in the second
Ooh.
one. Very
Love a
confusing.
smash boat
Well,
moment.
also, can we just throw out the whole "I'm rich and I have a
He
sailboat"
doesn't
fucking
need to be,
shit?
right?
And like Batman sailboat, Succession sailboat,
Lots of
This shit
sailboats.
That's
Yeah.
half of the fun, I think.
Do you know anyone with a boat in
all good.
LA?
Not in LA.
Orange County? Laguna?
I mean, I
Florida
grew
boy.
up in Florida. So
Well, same.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, that's what I mean. Is we grew up in Florida.
yeah.
How can we
Everyone
forget?
has
Yeah, so you
boats.
guys
You
all
have a
boats.
boat
Yeah.
before you have like a fucking car.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
So it's
everyone
just
has
like,
a boat. So
yeah.
out here, I'm like
Kind of sad I don't have
devastated.
a boat, really.
You guys
know-
want one of my boats?
Do you know someone?
I'll give you a boat.
I got it,
You
I
just
got
have
it.
to
If
ask.
you live in
Shades of
LA
boats.
Yeah.
and you have a boat, hit up me only, and I will bring some hose on your boat.
Well, Ned, thank you for bringing this. Before we go,
My pleasure.
we really need to
Really?
decide, is this an innocent or guilty pleasure? The floor is yours. You have 60 seconds. Your final closing words, Ned. Why is this a movie that people should see?
Yeah, which one is
60
one
seconds
good
is
and
a
one bad? I
long
mean, it's
time.
obviously a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
If that's the one you don't want, then I don't care. It doesn't matter. There's no way that you can claim this is an innocent pleasure.
Yeah.
This is the guiltiest,
Ooh.
the nasty. You gotta feel a little dirty when you watch it. Nasty. But you're like, I'll get some popcorn and let's do this.
Yes.
February 14th, baby.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's a guilty pleasure.
I
for
think
you?
it's a guilty pleasure, yeah. But
Yeah.
you know, it's harmless.
But people,
I mean, it is.
I was
They
like,
have
it's
harmful
harmful.
portrayals,
Yeah.
but I don't know what to say. It's a guilty pleasure. Just don't take it too seriously.
I mean, what do you guys think? Is this a guilty pleasure people should bring into their lives?
Rick, you go first.
I think this is for sure a guilty pleasure. As Ned was saying, it's not innocent at all. I watched this when my roommates were just like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go away for a second," and then I got snuggled up under
you
a
were reaching
blanket.
in your-
Okay, I wasn't touching my biddies,
Your
but
blankets
I
are
was
up
like, but the blankets are up here, and I'm watching by myself, and I'm like turning my cat's head away, and just like, "Don't look at this, Marty.
You're
You
too
don't
young.
need to see this."
Marty.
But I think that it was like it didn't deserve a 28 for sure, or
Wow.
whatever the number is. It's in the 20s.
Yeah.
It for
Doing
sure
dirty.
needs to be like 45. It's a watchable movie.
What? This is the first time that we have both like flipped on.
Yeah.
And like as much as we were dragging this straight to the bottom of hell when
Yeah,
we first started
you
this,
should, you should.
I think we both realized like, why are we still so energetically talking about
Yeah.
it? It's
'Cause
because
you gotta-
it's so bad that it's
Yeah.
good.
Right. I think just skip past the certain parts of the movie that like will portray
I didn't like
BDSM.
it
in,
when
So, like,
in
most
the-
of
it.
most
Watch
a good-
watch the compilation cut on Pornhub.com.
Yeah, it's on there.
This movie rocked me to my core. It perplexed me deeply. It was too sexy for its own good,
Yeah.
and simultaneously the most boring trash. I couldn't watch the sexy scenes because it was too much, and then I couldn't watch them talking because I wanted to gouge my eyes out. But then I felt myself caring.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I
Yeah.
needed, and honestly, I'm sitting here right now. I'm going to tell you what, I loved it, and I need more. And I need to know, like, and even the parts that I didn't love, I it deepened the experience. I need to know what happens
Wow.
next.
Yeah.
So Ned, thank you for
Yeah,
letting me
actually,
ask
thanks,
you to
Ned.
bring this into our
You
lives.
are welcome.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, you this is the first like
What a
change
turn,
of
yeah.
the turn of tide.
And I want to be there in the theater
Yeah.
with a lot of people who are like too horny for their own good and just howling.
Yeah.
Well,
He
you're gonna
said,
have
take
to
off your
wait
panties,
till
and you said, yeah.
Cats 2 comes
Yeah.
out for that.
All right.
Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure to rate this 5 stars on iTunes if you're going to give it any less than 5 stars. Please don't rate it at all. Don't forget to share this with a friend. Comment below, subscribe. Why not? Check out Ned's podcast. Ned, I heard you have a podcast.
That's right. I have a podcast called Baby Steps. It's a comedy
shit.
podcast about raising the family.
Aw.
Very different from this one.
And maybe you should watch this movie and talk about how to spice up your casserole, right?
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
true.
Yeah.
You're
You're
If
trying to
you
spice up
haven't
your casserole. If you haven't already,
Yeah.
get in there.
Garrett, where can people find you?
Garrick Bernard on Instagram.
And
on
Kelsey
Instagram.
Darrow on everything.
At Corn Diddy. Tell your friends to watch this show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.